Good evening. Welcome. Thank you. My name is Stephen Lipman. I'm the president and CEO of the Center for the Performing Arts. And welcome to what is going to be an extraordinary rehearsal. Tonight, we are launching a 3-month rehearsal process to tune the Palladium. And what that means is that all of the equipment, some of which you can see and some of which you cannot see, will be tested. And it means that these acoustical panels, there's 92,000 pounds of glass panels above me, will be raised and lowered over 35 private tuning rehearsals. And we're not sure today what those levels will be like. So you're part of an exploration, of a journey, and we're thrilled that you're with us today. Now, this has been an amazing journey, and what I would like you to do right now, because we can't single out everyone tonight who was responsible, but I want everyone to stand up and give yourselves an amazing round of applause. Stand up, please, because this is extraordinary. Look around you at this center, at this concert hall. You all deserve a round of applause. You have made this possible. Thank you. As I mentioned, we are embarking on an incredible process, and I want to emphasize that it's a rehearsal. That means it's a practice session, so occasionally things will go bump in the night. We have enlisted the help of arts organizations throughout central Indiana for this special tuning process. And to begin tonight, we're going to start with Artistic Director Michael Feinstein and Mayor James Brainard, and it was Mayor Brainard's vision to launch the Palladium that we're also celebrating this evening. Now, following the Mayor and Michael, we will also have additional performers who will be here to entertain you. Now, as you look around, I want you to note that we're in what's called substantial completion, which means we've signed some important documents, but there's a lot more work to do. So the building is not 100% set. I've been telling my staff for about a year that we are sort of building the rocket ship as we move it towards the launch pad. And on January 29th, this rocket ship will take off when we officially launch the Palladium. So you didn't come here to hear me talk. At this point in time, I would like to introduce Artistic Director Michael Feinstein and Mayor James Brainard. Gentlemen, the stage is yours.
Isn't this exciting? This is exciting for Carmel. It's exciting for our arts groups. I was trying to remember the last time I was talked into playing with the Carmel Symphony. It was 10, and I thought, well, this is a good story. It was 10 years ago, and it was it's what they called, if you remember, it was billed as a rock concert because it was in the Martin Marietta Quarry, because we did not have this beautiful hall to play in. I know a lot of you in the audience remember that. Not only is this beautiful building going to be the center of Carmel's new downtown, I heard over and over for the last, really since I ran for mayor the first time in 1995, I heard from people over and over, I'd love to go out for a dinner and a show in Carmel. And by the way, if you're elected, what are you going to do with that old shopping center where Kroger used to be in? And so we came up with this idea of actually having a downtown in this city and accomplishing it through bringing the private sector together with the public sector to do something special. And it's fun to see it. But I want you to think for a minute about this building. This building has been built, pattern, I suppose most of you know, after the Italian Renaissance architect Palladio. Heard of Palladian windows, that's where that comes from. He was born 500 years ago this year in Italy. And he wrote a series of 4 architectural books that I'm told are still studied today in schools of architecture. but he designed a house outside of Venice called the Villa Rotunda, or Roundhouse. And this building is patterned after that home, but it's meant to be an iconic building that people will identify with as a place where beautiful music's made. And so we see this just not as something to be the center of our downtown in Carmel, just not something to create economic development and spur private investment in this area, but as a place to perpetuate and honor our culture. And quite honestly, why do we have to default to Chicago to be the cultural mecca of the Midwest? We can do it here. And that's right, we can. Tonight really is a culmination of work that has been done now for almost 15 years. The actual construction started 3 years ago, but the planning, the studies to determine exactly what type of hall should be built started a long time ago. I think we have over 100 and some different plans of this whole city center area until we finally got to where we are today. But one of the most exciting things that's happened in this process has been Carmel's new association with Michael Feinstein. Not only did we make a presentation to Michael's Foundation for the Preservation of the Great American Songbook, all this memorabilia and things that he has, he can talk to you much better about it than I can. Could have been located anywhere in the country. Could have been New York, LA, Florida, but it's coming to Carmel, Indiana, and some extra room we have at the top of the building. This is a rectangular hall in a square building, so we had some extra room at the top. And it will be a small museum and archival area. Michael has performed a wonderful service for our country in preserving all these artifacts and music and original notes from the genre of the Great American Songbook, the music that the world truly knew America. It's how the rest of the world knew America from 1900s up through the end of World War II and even into the 1950s. And to preserve that part of our cultural heritage is so important, and Michael's been leading the charge in that. And this museum's coming to Carmel, so we're excited about that. Then as we got to know each other, we thought, why don't we invite Michael to be our artistic director for the hall? And so that's now come about. I think you're even remodeling a house out on the west side of Carmel, aren't you, Michael? Yes. So we have a new resident as well. I joked that the first part of this is going to be comedy hour, but we are going to play something together. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do I turn this off, or we set it there?
Okay. God bless you. The first sneeze in the new hall. The acoustics are very good. That was the first sneeze. That was the... And we also had the first late arrivals. This is many firsts today. Are we ready?
Thank you. As we said, this is a rehearsal. I learned something. You know, don't put the bell or the French horn right into the piano because I said I learned something. You don't put the bell or the French horn right into the piano. It draws it in, yeah. Turn the other way. Thank you. That was fun. That was Stardust by Hoagie Carmichael from Indiana. And it's always a great, some people actually say that would be Indiana's national anthem if we had one.
Well, I just want to say one very quick thing before we do this second piece. Yesterday, as I was rehearsing with the mayor, he was telling me that he had been rehearsing 2 hours every day, and he said, you know, to get your embouchure strong again and to get your chops up, it really takes 8 hours a day of rehearsal. I said, well, that's very fine, except if you had been rehearsing for this 8 hours a day, you wouldn't be a very good mayor, right? So this is something that's by George M. Cohan, that is a national anthem of Broadway, I guess, or as my grandmother used to call him, George M. Cohen. But see, we should have rehearsed more. He said, I thought we were going to do that twice. I apologize. So that was my fault.
Made an old high school band player sound better than I should have sounded, so thank you, Mike. Anyway, this was fun. This is the community's building. As the architect told me the day that we started the project, he wanted it to be considered the community's living room. And I hope that's what it is, and I hope that each and every person who resides in this community is proud of this building and enjoys it for many, many years. As we think back, you know, this building was built to last for the ages. If properly taken care of, the builders and architects and engineers tell us it will be here 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years from now. But leave here tonight knowing that you were at the first concert.